remember, the most important thing, writing is a process, okay? That process can take a few days, it can take a few weeks, it can take a few months. Writing is never ending and it's always changing. There's always ways to improve writing, right? VSA Future is going to guide your child through the learning process. They're going to teach your child the learning process of writing. Okay, they're going to teach them all the steps of writing, and eventually they'll become self-sufficient writers. Okay, so here are some things we can do to turn our children into solid writers, right? The first thing we can do is have children talk about their writing or their plans, right? When students talk out loud and someone listens to them, they become more excited about their work, right? Because they feel like whoever's listening wants to know more about it. This inspires them to write even more. So having children talk about their writing or plans is really beneficial for them. The second thing that we can do to turn our children into writers is to ask children about their writing. When you ask them questions, it helps them flesh out ideas in their mind they might have not even thought of, right? So if you ask a child about their essay, let's say they're writing about the house, right? You can ask them, describe the living room in the house. They might stop and think, I never thought about that before, right? When you ask children about their writing, it challenges them to answer your question, and then they have to be more specific about that in their writing, okay? It allows them to think critically. The third way that we should turn our children into writers is to review earlier work to see growth. As we demonstrated before, you guys got to see the before paragraph and the after paragraph about boots, right? When children review their earlier work and see their growth, it makes them feel proud, right? And when they feel proud, it helps them become a better writer. They see how much they improved. They're going to want to keep going and improve even more. The fourth way we can turn our children into writers is to value the writing process over the product. Again, writing is a process, right? It's about the journey, not about the destination. It's about what you learn along the way. And the fifth thing, I cannot stress this enough, is to make writing fun, right? Nobody likes to do something if they're, bored, right, of it. If you make writing fun, they're going to want to write. They'll do it on their own. They'll do it with a partner. They'll do it in a group. They'll do it with you. They'll do it with their family. They'll do it with their friends. They'll do it everywhere, right? And it'll help them improve over time because they want to write, and it'll help them because they want to write. They're going to, find ways to be more creative about it. They're going to look up words. They're going to look up things to write about and do research on the things they enjoy. When you make writing fun, and when you give students freedom with their work, their results are always better, okay? At VSA Future, we do many things to help turn your children into writers. Teachers talk about their writing with their students, and students related to the outside world, right? They'll ask questions. We also have individual one-on-one writing conferences, which is a really nice thing to have because in a lot of public schools, students don't get the opportunity to have one-on-one writing conferences with a teacher. It's usually some kind of peer or partner conference. So having a one-on-one writing conference with a teacher is really beneficial to them because they get to hear academic standpoints and different feedback. Teachers also give very extensive feedback to the students and tell them, they give them some guidance in their writing. The good thing about the feedback we give at VSA, it's very general, right? We don't want to give feedback that is too specific because if we don't want to gear children, we don't want children to feel like they're restricted with their writing. So if you're more general with your feedback, saying, oh, how can you do this? Or, oh, why is this possible? right? It still gives them the freedom to write what they want. We give questions that have open answers and various answers to the questions, right? So giving extensive feedback, but keeping it general still gives students a lot of freedom with their writing. At VSA Future, we also help your child develop a growth mindset, right? There are very specific strategies and questions that you use to help your child develop a growth mindset. Again, a growth mindset does not happen overnight. It happens over a while. It's a process, just like writing is. And the last thing that we do at VSA Future is make writing fun, right? Make writing fun always, all the time. We do so much more at VSA Future as well. We're always looking for the newest strategies and the best practices to incorporate in our lessons and best writing. So this is something that, is really, really important. Everything, absolutely everything is an education in writing, okay? Writing in public schools, right? Language arts and math are the two most important and prioritized subjects, but writing is above that because writing is in every single academic subject. Okay, that is why it is of paramount importance. Okay, grammar is used in writing because it allows students to write in different forms. Students can use vocabulary to be more specific in writing as well, which we talked about before. Readings are often paired with writing prompts. Standardized tests, okay? Tests like the GRE, the SATs, PSATs, when they have students write essays, it's usually a science-based or social studies essay, right? So even in other subjects like science and social studies, writing is still used. And even if students have to answer questions on social studies or science content, guess what? They still have to write, right? So again, that's how writing comes in. Writing is also even given in math, okay? Math is a little bit tricky because math likes to confuse you by doing word problems, right? And sometimes the word problems for these math problems are a little bit tricky and they're designed to trick you. And a lot of the times when you're answering a math word problem, they ask you to explain how you got your answer. And guess what? You gotta write for that, okay? So writing is in every single subject, okay? Even in art, or gym class or music class, right? Teachers will say, teachers will ask questions that require writing. So that's why I really, really stress the importance of writing and to turn your children at home into writers, right? And the thing about writing is that, they're judging you in it, in college, in the workplace, in the community, right? Writing is the primary basis on one's work. Learning and intellect will be judged, right? So many people get judged off of their writing, right? If you have a college essay application, right? Or if you have a resume, that's writing as well. Writing equips us with communication and thinking skills. Writing is just not something you learn in school that you kind of just, learn and be done with. Writing is a skill that you need for the rest of your life. It's a life skill, okay? And that's why I stress the importance of writing. Here's an example of a 5th grade essay from a VSA student who used the writing process. Okay, this essay was actually paired with a reading. The essay prompt was, is Sir Ivain brave or reckless, right? And this student wrote this whole essay, right? 857 words by using the writing process. At first, it started out like 3 paragraphs, right? But by using the writing process at VSA and, with prompting and questioning and planning, we got this beautiful 5-paragraph essay. Okay, I'm just gonna read the first 2 paragraphs, and then I'll give you guys a little bit of time to look over the rest, okay, on your own. The story of Sir Ivain describes him as both reckless and brave. I think he is mainly reckless, right? So the student takes a stance right here. In the story, he goes out to fight the Black Knight, a knight that fought when he was a child, only to be beaten by the Black Knight. Sir Ivain informs the king of the night. The king agrees that they must destroy this knight with 6 men. Sir Ivain strongly believes that he should be the one who can destroy his nemesis. Look at that, great vocabulary word, right? Sir Ivain went off to fight the knight alone and eventually wins, but reaches another predicament. He ends up at a castle of which the Black Knight is the lord. He bumps into a handmaiden and begs for hospitality. Another great vocabulary, right? Hospitality. She hides the knight until it is safe. Sir Ivain, in most cases, is reckless. So this student, by using the writing process, right? This is their introduction. Okay, in the introduction, they put what they think, right? They had a claim, which is he's reckless. She told us a little bit of background information on the story, right? And told us a couple of details on why, and again, states the claim at the end, right? Using the writing process at VSA, we were able together, right? We were able to come up with an introduction that met all of the needs of a perfect introduction, right? I think he can be described as reckless because though he aims to be brave, all he is doing is proving his recklessness. Sir Ivain is only reckless because his first instinct is bravery, and when this happens, he does not think things through, therefore becoming reckless. With nothing but the drive to be brave and prove himself, he does not see what he is doing and he does not think things through. Having the will of brave and on top caused Sir Ivain to only realize his mistakes until after far in battle. Evidence from this story is after he fought the Black Knight. Then Sir Ivain realized what his recklessness has caused him, and he was alone in a strange castle. This shows that because he was so determined to fight the Black Knight, but only realized his huge mistake until far after. He was so blinded by his will to be brave that he did not even realize that he was now in the castle of the Black Knight, right? So this essay is jam-packed with so many details. And this student does something exceptional, okay? Do you guys see this area right here that has quotations? She took that directly from the story and explained why that related to her essay, okay? This is a skill that you need in college, okay? I can't tell you how many college essays I've personally written where I've had to take things out of the text, okay? This is something that she learned at VSA, right? It's a great skill to have along with everything else she included in this writing. Okay, I'll give you guys a minute to look over the essay. I'm not going to read the whole thing to you, but you guys can look through the next 3 paragraphs on your own. Okay, so I'm going to give you guys a minute to do that. So I think we went through the first 2 paragraphs together, and I know you guys were able to read a little bit of the next 3 on your own. This student has a perfect essay. Okay, on a standardized test, this would be a perfect essay. Okay, this student has an introduction, a conclusion at the end, which leaves the reader with something to think about, right? Pushes beyond the essay, and 3 solid body paragraphs with textual evidence, details, right? Kind of pushing beyond, right, what could have happened. This really is a phenomenal essay. And this student was able to do this because they used the writing process that they learned at VSA.